Lesson 2.6 measures of vertical, adjacent, and complementary angles. Put today's date on there if you'd like. Vertical angles, we just talked about this a little bit. Vertical angles are formed when you have two lines that cross each other and make some kind of X. And so if I'm trying to find angles B and C, I kind of like starting with C first. This angle here where the 120 degrees is and angle C, those are the vertical angles, so they will be congruent. So C will also be 123 degrees. And then from there, B and this angle would also be congruent. So I just had to figure out what B is, and I could have also figured out this angle. If I cover this up, picture just this line being here. This is 180 degrees all the way across. It's a linear pair. And so I would have to take 180 minus 123, which is 57. Okay, these two angles, B and C, should also make 180 degrees, and they do. A linear pair is just simply that these two angles should make 180 degrees. So you would take 180 minus 118, which would be 72 degrees. Sorry, 62. I knew even as I said it, I'm like, that's not right. Soundsworth's mental math is rusty. 62. Sorry. All right, and then complementary. Complementary means they equal 90 degrees. And we've talked about how this little right angle symbol, this little box, is how you'll know that it's exactly 90 degrees. Don't ever assume in geometry. So to figure out what angle A is, you would take 90 minus 41, which is 49. Okay. Number 1, it says find the measure of the missing angles. Sorry, I could not figure out how to get a line here for some reason, so there's 4 problems. But number 1, find the missing angles. These are all just like little puzzles. I enjoy these. First thing I want to look at is this 31 degrees. If I see the lines that angle is formed by, I can find a pair of vertical angles. So ignore everything except for this X. I see 31 degrees here. This angle would be the same as E. So E would be 31 degrees. I don't care what order you write the letters in. All right, from there, I also see where this 77 degrees is at. Let's highlight where or what lines are formed by the 77 degrees, and I can see this angle and D would be vertical or across from each other. So this is 77 degrees. And then all I have to do is find F. There's several different ways. There's no right way. It's whatever your brain sees. My brain is seeing this. These 3 angles, F, D, and this 31 degrees form a linear pair. This is all 180 degrees. So to find F, I could take 180 minus 77 minus 31. And that would leave me with 72. Number 2. They're giving me 2 different right angles. I like looking at this one first. So this 60 degrees and this angle X would have to make 90. That's pretty easy to figure out. Well, this has to be 30, so that 30 and 60 make 90. So X is 30 degrees. Okay, now angle Y. Several different ways. Which way do I want to tell you? The way I'm seeing it, I'm not assuming here, but I know that this 90 is formed by this line and this line. So if this is a 90, this is also a 90. Because they are vertical angles. And so I would do 90 minus 30, which would make this be 60. The other way, you could actually figure out, let's see, no, those aren't vertical. That's the way that I would see it. Okay, number 3. We have a 90 here. So if this is 90, and this is one straight line that has 180 degrees, this has to be 90 as well. So these are adjacent angles here. They're complementary. They have to make 90. So I would do 90 minus 34, which is 56 degrees for X. Okay, and then angle Y is this opening right here. Well, I know that this is 90 of it. And then do I have any kind of vertical angles? This gets kind of sloppy with all my different colors. I do. Once I found out angle X is 56, over here this must be 56 as well. So I would just add 90 plus 56, which is 146. Okay, and then the last one, I've got a linear pair with the H and the 93, right? These are side by side on a straight line. So let's do 180 minus 93, and that gets me that this is 87. Okay, and then these two angles, the 93 and G, are vertical. And so this would also be 93 degrees, right? This and this, formed by this intersection of lines. And then down here, I have vertical. The 122 and K are vertical, so K would also be 122 degrees. And then I could look at M and K being a linear pair, or I could look at M and 122 being a linear pair. Either way, it doesn't matter, because I'm taking the 180 minus 122, which is 58.